Hi, I'm Sarah McGuinness. I'm CEO and founder of Revolutionaries of Wellbeing.
Hi, I'm Chris Hewitt, Commercial Partnerships Manager here at Revolutionaries of Wellbeing. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about control. We did some research for the NZDA on wellbeing in dentistry. And one of the things that came out really, really strongly was this link between control and stress. In short, dentists love being in control over every aspect of their working life as much as they can. I recall sitting in a focus group with some dentists, and we asked them, "What does a great day look like to you?" And the first response was a dentist who put their hand up and said, "Uneventful." And everyone else in the focus group smiled and nodded, because of course, in an uneventful day, nothing goes wrong, everything goes to plan. Your patients turn up on time, your procedures go to plan, all of the interactions that you have with colleagues, external people, patients, they all go exactly as planned. But unfortunately, life isn't always that way. And when things do leave our control, that can often lead to a bit of a spiral of stress or anxiety, because especially if something is coming up that we're not sure if we have too much control over, we can start ruminating. And that means we dwell on a hypothetical scenario. We catastrophize over things that may or may not happen. And it can lead to a fairly a fairly nasty spiral of stress and anxiety as we keep on thinking about all these things which may or may not happen. So we wanted to share Bricks and Buckets with you today. Now, Bricks and Buckets is a tool that helps you categorize the things that are going on in your life and gives you a really proactive way of understanding what you can do to influence those situations. Now, there's a resource that's available for download on the NZDA website. We invite you to have this with you handy as you're watching this video, because we really like this tool, because what it does is it puts you back in the driver's seat of all of the things that are going on in your life that may or may not be in your control.
Now, it's a really good way of thinking about what you do and don't have control over, because one of the things we know with stress and anxiety is that it's like carrying lots of bricks. So if I take this a step further and say, if you think about everything that's happening in your head that's causing you to feel some stress or anxiety, whether it's thinking about things at work, thinking about things at home, so work, that could be a particular patient interaction, it could be coming up to financial end of year, perhaps there's some repercussions or some actions around that. At home, it could be health, it could be relationships. There's lots of different things that cause us stress. If you think about each of those individual things as as bricks sitting on your shoulders. Now, the more bricks you have, obviously, the heavier that load's going to be. And what we want to do is lessen the load. What we do then is introduce a concept called buckets.
So basically what buckets is categorizing all of these things that you're carrying around, all of your cognitive load, into three categories: things that you have lots of control over, things that you have some control over, and things that you have little to no control over. Another way of thinking about this in the literature is circles of control, circles of influence, and circles of concern. So what you do, and again, we invite you to do this in the worksheet that is available for download. Write down all of these things in the bricks that we've provided, all the things that are causing you stress or anxiety, and then you categorize them. And once you've categorized them, you can start to be much more proactive about how you respond. You become less reactive and much more responsive. I'll give you an example. Say in the coming few days, you've got an appointment with a patient who maybe in previous meetings has been less than pleasant. They've been a little bit rude. They've been a little bit agitated, maybe been a little bit generally unpleasant. And you're not looking forward to that particularly happening again. Now, you don't have complete control over that situation, because the other person is still at the other side of that conversation, nor do you have no control because you're in that conversation as well. So this is a scenario that you have some control over. So what can we do? You may want to re-review the patient notes one more time, just so you're really sure about the case history, the right course of action. You may wish to consult with a colleague on how best to deal with a particular scenario. If there's a piece of information that you want to make sure that you deliver really well, you may want to script that in your own mind. So you're having that part of the conversation in a manner that you're really, really happy with. Now, again, it doesn't make the situation go away. You still have to have that appointment with that patient, but you're doing that from on the front foot. You're doing that in a much more proactive way where you can respond with much more control over the things that you can control. And for the things that aren't in your control, these may be external things. It may be weather events. It may be pandemics. It could be the exchange rate. It could be anything else that the health of other people in your life. Knowing that you have little to no control over those things allows you to then maybe view those things more philosophically and look for the elements, the smaller elements of control that you do have over those scenarios. So if it's the health of a loved one, although you can't control that directly, what you can do is be much more proactive about the support that you're providing that individual, for example.
Now, my last tip for you, and I'm sorry, it's not my favorite tip, is that the only thing that you have complete control over is yourself. So that's your thoughts, your behaviors, your actions, all the things that you do. You have control over those. So it's often a very good place to start when we're looking at what we control. What can I do within my thoughts and my behaviors to influence or to feel like I have some way of taking this forward in this situation? Good luck.
Good luck.